And the silence of twilight, hope whispered through the pain. As the last light of day faded from the horizon, I received a chilling message from a stranger on social media. There's a kitten lying motionless near a bush in the park. I think it's dead. But next to it, another orange kitten is sitting quietly. He hasn't moved at all. He's just watching. I grabbed my rescue bag, threw on my jacket, and ran into the darkening evening, not knowing that what I was about to witness would leave an imprint on my heart forever. By the time I reached the park, night had already wrapped the trees in shadows. I followed the faint light of a street lamp to the spot described. And there they were. A small pale orange kitten, curled up tightly beside a bush. His body barely moved. If I hadn't been paying attention, I would have thought he had already passed. Beside him sat another slightly bigger orange kitten. Still. Silent. His eyes fixed on his brother. Occasionally, he would lean down and lick the top of his sibling's head, soft, careful licks, as if trying to comfort him, or say goodbye. I approached slowly, not wanting to frighten him. At first, the older kitten hissed and backed away slightly. But when our eyes met, something shifted. Maybe he sensed that I wasn't a threat. That I was there to help. He sat down again, keeping his gaze on his brother. Gently, I lifted the smaller kitten and placed him into my rescue bag. Then I picked up the older one. He didn't resist. We rushed to the nearest veterinary hospital. In the car, I kept glancing into the bag, checking if the little one was still breathing. He hadn't moved. I didn't want to disturb him. I was afraid any touch might hurt more than help. At the clinic, the vet quickly took the kitten inside for emergency care. I waited outside, holding the older orange kitten in my arms. He nuzzled into me and purred softly, exhausted, but somehow, relieved. Maybe he knew help had finally come. After tense minutes, the vet came out. He's very weak. Severely malnourished, she said. But he's hanging on. If we act fast and care for him properly, he has a good chance. My heart lifted. A glimmer of hope. While the vet ran additional tests, I sat in the waiting room with the older brother still in my arms. I thought of how long he must have stayed with his sibling. How many cold nights, how many hunger pains he endured just to stay beside him. Waiting for a miracle. The tests were underway, but my mind was somewhere else. I had to go back to the park. Maybe, just maybe, there were more. Back at the park, I followed the paths lined with trees and grass. I walked slowly, listening to every sound. Then I heard it, a faint meow, from behind a tree. I moved closer and saw a cardboard box near the base of a thick tree trunk. Inside were 3 more orange kittens, trembling and huddled together. Their eyes were wide with fear, their tiny bodies pressed against each other. I crouched down and opened a small pack of wet cat food. The smell wafted through the air. One kitten peeked out. Then another. Eventually, all 3 emerged, cautiously, hesitantly. They began to eat. Gently, I reached out and stroked their backs. They flinched at first but soon relaxed. One by one, I lifted them into my carrier. Just as I was about to leave, a group of children approached, pointing towards some bushes. "We saw another one there," one of them said. I followed them and, sure enough, found another orange kitten trembling under the low branches. His eyes were full of panic. I slowly scooped him into my arms, holding him against my chest. Another life saved. As I turned to leave, I heard a loud meow from the park entrance. I looked up. A large white cat with golden orange patches stood there, watching us. She wasn't hissing or growling. She wasn't running. She just followed. I stopped, took out another pouch of food, and placed it on the ground. She hesitated. Then slowly, she approached and began to eat. Her eyes never left mine. They were full of concern, fear, and something else. Recognition. This was their mother. I took a deep breath, pulled out the last carrier I had, placed food inside, and left the door open. She entered. I closed the door gently. She didn't fight it. She knew her family was inside. Back at the rescue center, the mother and her 6 kittens were examined. Aside from being severely undernourished and dehydrated, they were surprisingly healthy. The mother, though clearly exhausted, had no injuries. Over the next few days, I prepared a quiet room with warm bedding, clean water, and nutritious food. Watching them reunite, seeing the kittens snuggle into their mother's side, hearing their tiny purrs, was one of the most beautiful things I'd ever experienced. The older orange kitten, the one who had stayed beside his dying brother, curled up close to me every night. He remembered. And so did I. I named the mother cat Sunny, because her eyes sparkled like sunlight. Her kittens: Muffin, Toast, Butter, Bean, Cookie, and Milk. And the brave orange kitten, the brother who never left, he became Hope. They were no longer strays. No longer forgotten. And me? I wasn't just their rescuer anymore. I had become a part of their story. Their family. I don't know if I'll keep them all forever. But I know this, as long as they're with me, they'll never be hungry, cold, or alone again. And if they do find new homes, it will be with people who understand what love, patience, and kindness truly mean.